Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. While I'm still dealing with some technical difficulties, I'm going to be holding this Rode microphone because the quality, at least I think, is phenomenal. But we're talking Seattle. I'm about to head out on a little trip here, and I plan on making a Will Upton Seahawks video tomorrow, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about this team. And I just pulled up the, what game was this? Was it Week 18 against San Francisco in San Fran? Because the first time these two teams met, Seattle lost in Game 1. First game of the season, Sam Darnold's first game as Seattle Seahawk. They lost the game, and I think Darnold fumbled it, and it was, looking back at it, kind of an annoying loss, especially considering they won 14 of their next 16 games. But San Francisco is a really interesting team. I've always hated them because I was a little too young to see Brett Favre dice them up. So I'm used to Aaron Rodgers getting diced by Kaepernick, Jimmy Garoppolo, like Brock Purdy, you name it, kicking errors, special teams errors. I just hate San Francisco because it's just nonstop pain memories. And I think Seattle matches up against them perfectly. It's almost as if this defensive line, it's almost as if this defense was built to stop Kyle Shanahan. It's almost as if it was built to beat a heavy personnel with Christian McCaffrey and, Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle as your outside playmakers. The Seattle Mike McDonald's defense, they've just done such a good job. Nick-a-man worry changes so much on this defense. People don't even realize. People don't realize how important Nick-a-man worry is on this Seahawks team. And Seahawks fans, you guys do, obviously. But I remember watching this game, and I remember covering it right after, saying and thinking, wow, that game could have been 30-3. The Seahawks could have completely blown them out. And so we're 2 days away from their matchup, and honestly, you guys might even be watching this video one day before the matchup. Honestly, you probably will, because I just posted a video. Folks, I don't really believe in jinxing. I'll knock on wood once I say what I'm about to say. I think the Seahawks are going to make the Super Bowl, and I think it's slated perfectly, just as almost how we all, like, if I were to ask a Seahawks fan, like, what's your worst, and let's actually turn the clock back to, like, week 13, whenever the Seahawks lost to the Los Angeles Rams, and I were to say to a Seahawks fan, like, what's your worst nightmare in the playoffs? San Francisco, Los Angeles, right? Well, a lot's changed since then. Seattle beat Los Angeles in a thriller. Seattle dominated San Francisco in a defensive slogfest. It was 13-3, but it felt like 33-3, and the Seahawks got the number 1 seed, and it runs through you. You have to go into Seattle if you want to make the Super Bowl, and you have to beat this team. And so it's storybook. What's funny is so many times in my Seahawk video making tenure, and this feels kind of weird, so I apologize for the unestheticness of this video, but hit that like button, hit that sub button if you enjoy these kind of fireside chat style videos. But back when I first started making Seahawks videos, and any year up until pretty much right now, it's been a whole NFC West thing. Like, Seattle can win against NFC West teams. So I'm not saying like, oh, well, comment guys like, well, they went 4-2, 2 years ago in the NFC West. Most of my time watching Seattle has been losing an important game to San Francisco or losing an important game to the Los Angeles Rams. That's just been the way it is. Like, the first year I started covering Seattle, it was when you guys lost. You went, I think it was 10-7, and you guys lost to San Francisco in the first game of the playoffs, and you had the lead at halftime. And so I would get behind the mic and be like, all right, here's how Seattle can control the line of scrimmage and limit turnovers, and here's a solidified game plan for how this upset can actually happen. Because it's so out of the realm of possibility that this might actually come to fruition, and now it's reverse. It's like, how can San Francisco beat Seattle? Here's what they need to do to beat Seattle. They need to run the dang ball. So 23 first downs compared to San Francisco's 9, 10 rushing first downs compared to San Francisco's 1, 67 total plays compared to San Fran's 42, 361 yards compared to San Fran's 173, 180 yards rushing compared to 53 for San Francisco. This was a game where they went 0 of 3 in the red zone, and that's kind of why I said, like, this game should have been maybe like 20 whatever, 30 whatever to 3. Darnold, 20 of 26, had some nice throws in that game, if I'm not mistaken. They ran the ball to a great degree, 39 times for 180 yards, averaging 4.6 yards per carry, and then obviously they held McCaffrey to 23 yards. One thing that was odd about that football game is from San Fran's position, when they don't have the lead, they tend to run. They tend to, like, forget the run. And I noticed this sometimes in the regular season because I had Christian McCaffrey in fantasy, and it would piss me off because it's like, okay, the score, you're down 3 points. Can you run the ball again? But I noticed McCaffrey only had 8 carries in that football game for 23 yards, 2.9 yards per carry. The final score was 13-3. I mean, that's a 2-possession game at halftime. It was 10-3. It's a 1-possession game. I'm anticipating San Francisco to really try and figure out how to get Christian McCaffrey going against this Seahawks front 7. And, you know, honestly, maybe they could say, F that, we're just going to throw all over you. But if they want to say that, Brock Purdy, 19 of 27 for 127 yards and a pick. He had a QBR of 22.8 against Seattle's defense. So I've said this, and you guys say this, and everybody's saying this, and everybody's thinking this. But if Seattle wins the line of scrimmage this game, it will be close because it's difficult to win even a 10-point game on the road. Like, that's so difficult. 13-3, you can think like, oh, wow, Seattle, like, kind of dropped the ball there. Like, you know how hard it is to win the NFL? Like, you know when you see, like, a 10-point favorite, like Los Angeles over Carolina, and that didn't even hit, like, you know how crazy a 10-point favorite is for a playoff football game? Like, they really disrespected Carolina there. But I'm saying it's hard to win football games. It's even harder to win by more than 1 possession. But, yeah, man, Brock and CMC, they did not look good in that football game. I cannot believe it. But, once again, control line of scrimmage, offense, defense. If they're able to run the ball, if Seattle is able to have over 130 rushing yards, and they're able to limit San Francisco to under 100, and Sam Darnold does not have more than 1 interception and fumble, Seahawks win this football game. Unless San Fran has just the craziest game ever. There's no George Kittle either. I mean, they're really hanging on by a thread. And I'll end with this video because I do have to go. The reason I said Seattle I think is going to make the Super Bowl, and honestly I think they're going to win the Super Bowl, and I'll knock on wood because I promised it. Last year I would watch the Philadelphia Eagles and their dominant defense, and I would watch Philly, and I know in my head, I know in my heart, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. Or they're at least going to make the Super Bowl. But I'm a Packers fan, and we played Philly in Week 1. And so I'm thinking to myself, Green Bay can upset the Philadelphia Eagles. But deep down, all of last year's NFC playoffs, I guess Detroit honestly losing made it an extremely easy, like, hey, Philly's the best team here. Philly's the best team in the NFC. They have the best defense in the NFC, and they are going to win the NFC. That's how I feel about Seattle right now. They've got the best defense. They've got the better quarterback against Brock Purdy. They've got the better line of scrimmage. They've got the better coach. Although I guess that's kind of a hot take. Mike McDonald, a better head coach over Kyle Shanahan. But, folks, I digress. I just wanted to talk Seattle Seahawks football. Not really a point to this video, so let me know if you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I got to go, so I'll see you later. Peace.